Hello and welcome. I'm Akshita Nandagopal and I'm bringing you this special show, Viral World, where for the next half hour, we'll give you all the stories related to the COVID pandemic and the vaccine updates from around the world. First up is the story of the big breakthrough of the week. Pfizer COVID vaccine has been approved for use in the United Kingdom and the British government will begin vaccinating people in a few days from now. Pfizer is an American pharmaceutical company, but interestingly, it's still awaiting approval in the United States for its vaccine.
An important milestone in humanity's fight against COVID pandemic. UK has become the first Western country to approve a COVID-19 vaccine, with its regulator clearing Pfizer and BioNTech's shot.
The MHRA has formally authorised the Pfizer vaccine for COVID-19. The vaccine will begin to be made available across the UK from next week. I would like to pay tribute to and to thank all those who have made this possible. It is the protection of vaccines that will ultimately allow us to reclaim our lives and get our economy moving again.
The emergency authorization clears the way for the distribution of a vaccine that is expected to play a significant role in the global effort to halt the coronavirus. The messenger RNA-based vaccine claims to have shown 95% efficacy in clinical trials. The vaccine will be available in Britain from next week. The developer of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine has begun the process of delivering the drug to the UK.
We have started immediately the process of delivering our vaccine, and we expect that the rollout of the vaccine in the UK will happen within the next couple of days.
The vaccine comes at a time when Britain's COVID death toll has neared 60,000.
From early next week, we will start the programme of vaccinating people against COVID-19 here in this country. As we know from earlier announcements, this vaccine is effective. The MHRA have approved it as clinically safe.
India, which has its own promising vaccine candidates, is yet to strike a deal with Pfizer. However, experts believe that the need for an ultra-low temperature storage and high cost makes Pfizer vaccine unviable for India.
This vaccine has to be kept at a very low temperature. It has to be kept at minus 70 degrees centigrade. Now that for low and middle income countries and a large part of the world is going to be a big challenge to maintain the cold chain, because having a vaccine to be kept at such a low temperature, especially when we're going to smaller towns or rural India, is going to be a challenge.
Pfizer's vaccine is the second after Russia's Sputnik V to be cleared for use. Sputnik, however, is being used mainly in Russia, even as it undergoes trials in India and many other countries.
When the announcement of the clearance of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine for people in general seemed hopeful, this could also be the beginning of the end of the pandemic in the United Kingdom. We're getting your report now from London.
The Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine is 95% secure and UK has secured 40 million doses. Local healthcare centres, known as GP surgeries, would be the first point of contact in the UK, are ready to roll it out by next week.
I'm looking forward to have my vaccine. There are about 1,000 designated sites, the plans for which have already been submitted to National Health Service. And once the vaccine is moved out of those very cold temperatures of minus 70 degrees where it's stored, it has to be used within 5 days. So if we're receiving a vaccine which has about 1,000 vials, we will need to make sure that it's all used up within 5 days.
And first in the line to receive the vaccine are those from care homes, followed by above 80s and healthcare professionals.
I am on the high risk. I got a letter from NHS Ealing Hospital this year in April. I welcome the new medicine which has came from Pfizer, and we hope that will benefit a lot of people in this country and the people around the world.
Me and my family belong to this surgery, or serious doctors here. Very happy about the vaccine coming forward. My husband is on the priority. It's not the first priority, but we have carers now, so we're both very excited to be able to get the vaccine soon, hopefully.
Pfizer-BioNTech took a record 10 months to make and becomes the first in the world to have got a go-ahead. Health Secretary of UK Matt Hancock has assured people that it will be rolled out by next week and several millions throughout December.
GP surgeries like this, that are first point of contact for Pfizer vaccine distribution, have a job cut out for themselves. 40 million doses have already been secured by the UK government and 1 million on the way by the end of the month. People queuing up to get these vaccine and some information about it. And the surgeries are ready to roll it out next week onwards. Of course, first in the line are social care home people and staff, followed by people over 80 and healthcare professionals like doctors and nurses who are giving out care. This vaccine that can be kept under minus 70 degree can be distributed from their centers and be kept for 5 days in the refrigerator here in the surgery. Therefore, it's quite important to roll it out quite securely and quickly as soon as possible. Thus, the surgery is now completely at work here in the UK. Lavina Tandon for India Today from London.
How many COVID vaccine candidates are there worldwide? Which stage are they in with regards to clinical trials? And more importantly, when can India expect a reliable vaccine to roll out for people? Nabila Jamal breaks that down.
The world's wait is over as a COVID-19 vaccine is finally here. This is indeed a historic moment in the fight against the deadly coronavirus as UK and Russia have approved COVID-19 vaccines. UK's Pfizer and BioNTech, along with Russia's Sputnik, have been announced as the first COVID-19 vaccines made available to this world. While Pfizer promises 95% efficacy, Sputnik promises 92% efficacy there. But it's not too soon that we get excited because India's wait for an early vaccine still continues. And we are going to tell you why. Pfizer vaccine, which is touted to be the silver bullet in the fight against COVID-19, has to be kept in minus 70 degrees Celsius. This temperature is cold enough to turn ice cream into a breaking block of ice. This needs specialized freezers, which is quite difficult to find in India. So does that mean India has to be less hopeful? Of course not. Let's come to Russia's Sputnik vaccine. Russia's Sovereign Wealth Fund and India's pharmaceutical giant Hetero have entered into a deal to produce at least 100 million doses of the Sputnik vaccine in India by early 2021. It's not just Pfizer and Sputnik. India has a lot many more developments to look forward to on the vaccine front. India has 3 vaccines in last stage trials and 2 of them are homegrown. The Oxford AstraZeneca is in phase 2 and 3 trials across various hospitals in India. And then you have our very own Covaxin, which is in phase 3 trials at the AIIMS Institute in Delhi and several other centers with 60% efficacy that they've promised. And then you have Zydus, which is in phase 2 trials and results to that is still awaited. So the good news is that we might indeed get the vaccine by 2021. Until then, ensure to sanitize, follow social distancing norms, and most importantly, please mask on before you move on, because that's the only way that you can keep coronavirus at bay. Bye-bye. Take care.
We're seeing so many developments on the vaccine front. There's been a lot of talk about distribution as well. And here's an interesting statement that's been made by India's apex medical body. The ICMR has said that it may not be necessary to vaccinate every Indian against coronavirus. This even as 3 Indian vaccines have entered clinical trials.
The global coronavirus vaccine program has gotten a shot in the arm as the United Kingdom gets ready to immunize its citizens. And India's vaccine plan is ready too. In an all-party meet to discuss the COVID-19 pandemic, Prime Minister Narendra Modi declared that a vaccine breakthrough is in sight.
अगले कुछ हफ्तों में कोरोना की वैक्सीन तैयार हो जाएगी। जैसे ही वैज्ञानिकों की हरी झंडी मिलेगी, भारत में टीकाकरण अभियान शुरू कर दिया जाएगा।
The Prime Minister, who took stock of India's vaccine candidates just last week, assured that the wait for a COVID vaccine will not be long.
करीब 8 ऐसी संभावित वैक्सीन है जो ट्रायल के अलग-अलग चरण में और जिनकी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग भारत में ही होनी है। जैसा यहां चर्चा में भी बात आई, भारत की अपनी 3 अलग-अलग वैक्सीन का ट्रायल अलग-अलग चरणों में है। एक्सपर्ट्स ये मानकर चल रहे हैं कि अब कोरोना की वैक्सीन के लिए बहुत ज्यादा इंतजार नहीं करना पड़ेगा।
The Modi government is also ready with its vaccine rollout plan. 1 crore healthcare workers will get vaccinated first. Next will be 2 crore frontline workers. And then 27 crore senior citizens will be immunized against the coronavirus.
इसमें प्राथमिकता कोरोना के मरीजों के इलाज में जुटे हेल्थ केयर वर्कर्स, फ्रंटलाइन वर्कर्स और जो पहले से गंभीर बीमारियों से जूझ रहे हैं वैसे बुजुर्ग लोगों को दी जाएगी।
The big question is, how much will the vaccine cost? On that, the Prime Minister has said that the government's focus is on safety and affordability.
केंद्र सरकार इस बारे में राज्य सरकारों के साथ बात कर रही है। वैक्सीन की कीमत को लेकर फैसला जन स्वास्थ्य को सर्वोच्च प्राथमिकता देते हुए किया जाएगा और राज्य सरकारों की इसमें पूरी सहभागिता होगी।
With the world grappling with the pandemic for nearly a year, finally there is hope. Bureau Report, India Today.
As the year 2020 draws to a close, in the last 2 months, countries across the world have started to prepare to obtain the maximum number of COVID vaccine doses needed for its population to achieve herd immunity. And interestingly, India is among the top countries that have secured the highest doses of vaccines.
A study by Duke University's Global Health Innovation Center shows that as of 30th November, India has secured 1.6 million doses of the coronavirus vaccine, followed by the European Union with 1.58 million doses. The US government has confirmed nearly 1.01 million doses of COVID-19 potential vaccine. According to a Credit Suisse estimate, India needs about 1.7 million COVID-19 vaccine doses to vaccinate the majority of its adult population. Making these COVID-19 vaccine doses available to the poorest and most vulnerable will be a real challenge for the Indian government. Plans for the rollout are underway. In Maharashtra, the BMC has already started the process of identifying cold storage spaces for storing the vaccine and also the buildings as vaccination centers.
जी हमको जो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया से गाइडलाइंस आई है उसमें जो हेल्थ केयर वर्कर है जो एक्टिवली इन्वॉल्व है कोविड के ट्रीटमेंट में, तो ऐसे वर्कर के लिए हमने 4 मेडिकल कॉलेजेस के जो कोल्ड स्टोरेज है वहाँ पे हमने पर्याप्त व्यवस्था हमारे पास में है, लेकिन एक सेंट्रली भी हमारी व्यवस्था होनी चाहिए। इसलिए हमने कांजूर मार्ग में एक सेंटर हमने तय किया है। वहाँ पे 3 फ्लोर है, पहले 1 फ्लोर का काम हम शुरू करने जा रहे हैं और वहाँ पे वो अगर अपर्याप्त रहती है तो उसी बिल्डिंग में दूसरा फ्लोर तीसरा फ्लोर भी हम कन्वर्ट करें कोल्ड स्टोरेज में, ताकि स्टोरेज करने की हमारी कोई दिक्कत ना आए।
One of the floors of the 5,000 square foot in a 5-story civic building opposite Kanjumarg police station is being converted into a cold storage facility. KEM, Sion, Nair and Dr. R.N. Cooper hospitals become vaccination points for frontline health workers.
COVID vaccine trials in India hit a stumbling block in the last week of November as one of the trial volunteers sued the Serum Institute of India for adverse impact of vaccination. While the Oxford AstraZeneca's Indian partner Serum Institute debunked this claim, it did raise questions about the safety of the vaccine candidate.
A controversy arose last week in India's hunt for a vaccine. A Chennai volunteer sued Serum Institute of India, alleging adverse reactions after taking the Covishield vaccine developed by Oxford University and AstraZeneca. The 40-year-old, who prefers to remain anonymous, spoke to India Today exclusively. He claims to have suffered serious neurological impairment, headache and confusion after taking the first shot.
I took the shot on the 1st of October. I don't remember anything which happened for those 10 days. So whatever I'm telling you is second-hand knowledge. What people have told me has happened. I woke up with a very severe headache, and on the morning of the 11th, that continued for the whole day. That is, I was not recognizing anybody, and I was just I was in a state of sort of delirium kind of thing. I was not in the condition that I was immediately post my hospitalization right now. So I have improved considerably, and I'm much better right now.
The volunteer is seeking 5 crore rupees in damages from the vaccine maker, accusing it of keeping the matter under wraps despite the adverse incident.
Because the public should know what happened, because this product is being eventually is going to be sold to the public. So I do not want to do that. I wanted to make sure that it's out in the public domain that this happened.
At least one other volunteer has gone on record to say that the trials are incident-free and safe.
पहला डोज मुझे 24 अगस्त को दिया गया, उसके बाद 28 दिनों के बाद 23 सितंबर को मुझे दूसरा डोज दिया गया। दोनों डोज लेने के बाद मुझे थोड़ा सा फीवरिश या ऐसा बोल सकते हैं कि थोड़ा मुझे बदन का दर्द हुआ, तो उसके लिए हमें पहले ही बताया गया था कि ऐसा इफेक्ट हो सकता है, ये वैक्सीन का इफेक्ट है। और 24 घंटे के बाद मैं बिल्कुल स्वस्थ हूँ। दोनों डोज के बाद 24 घंटे के बाद कुछ तकलीफ नहीं हुई, सिर्फ 1-2 गोली मुझे लेना पड़ा। उस वक्त निर्णय लिया था कि ये वैक्सीन की ट्रायल में मैं हिस्सा लूँगा, तो मुझे लग रहा है कि ये अच्छी बात हुई है समाज के लिए भी।
The Serum Institute of India, on its part, has rejected the charges, saying the adverse reaction is not due to the vaccine. It added that it had performed all regulatory and ethical checks on the incident and has threatened a 100 crore rupees defamation suit. The Indian Council of Medical Research, ICMR, has already assured that a vaccine can only be introduced after it passes all rigorous safety norms. The Government of India has reassured the public, stating that the alleged adverse reaction will not impact India meeting its COVID vaccine targets.
Adverse event will not affect the timelines in any manner whatsoever. Having said that, let me also tell you that we've been given to understand that there is a court case, so we would not want to comment on the specifics of the case which is being considered by the court. वर्तमान में सीरम इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ इंडिया के जो ड्रग के जो वैक्सीन ट्रायल हैं वो क्लब्ड फेज़ 2 फेज़ 3 में प्रवेश कर चुके हैं, यानी उन्हें फेज़ 3 की अनुमति दी गई है। इन सब कागजातों के विश्लेषण के बाद इसी प्रकार से भारत बायोटेक के जो क्लिनिकल ट्रायल्स हैं वो भी फेज़ 3 में जा चुके हैं, यानी उन्हें भी इन कागजातों के विश्लेषण के बाद फेज 3 में जाने की अनुमति दी गई है।
That's all we have time for in this edition of Viral World. Thank you very much for watching. News and updates continue on the other side of the short break. Stay with us here on India Today.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.